Hello folks and welcome back. In this tutorial we're going to be looking at the graph editor in Adobe After Effects. And the graph editor is another manner with which you can adjust and alter your keyframes in the timeline to finely tune your animations. Now to get started, let's look at the animation I've got in the timeline here. It's a very basic one. Here we go. We've got a rectangle that rotates once clockwise and then once again anti-clockwise. The clockwise rotation takes 1 second and the anti-clockwise rotation takes 2 seconds. So 3 seconds all in all for the rotation. I'm going to pause that there. Now as we can see, the keyframes are linear, which means the space between each frame is constant as the animation occurs. And as we know, it creates, as we can see, a rather mechanical sense of movement over time. Now we could use a simple right click here and go to Easy Ease just to smooth the animation out and make it a bit more realistic. But let's go into the graph editor, do that same thing, but then use the handles in the graph editor to fine tune things a bit more effectively. So to click on the graph editor, it's this button here and the graph editor appears. Now if you don't see the motion path, or rather it's actually not necessarily a motion path, it's actually a graph representing the motion path, you might find it's deselected. Just click on rotation parameter here and up it comes. Now before we get started, can you just make sure you've got some settings down here the same as I've set mine. So click on this tab here, make sure you've got show selected properties. Click on this tab here and make sure show graph tooltips and edit value graph have been selected. Make sure snap is turned on here and the auto zoom is turned on here. Now if we travel through the timeline, we can see that we've got quite a sharp linear animation, and that's sort of represented really here, that you've got a very sharp angle coming off here, a very sharp angle here, and a sharp angle on this keyframe. So let's try a bit of Easy Ease work. We're going to click on the keyframe here, go to Keyframe Assistant and Easy Ease Out. And as we can see, this line, or this slope, has changed slightly. Let's put it back to what it was. If you look at it, it was a very sharp line, which meant that the rotation was going to be a constant movement from 0 to 1 second. But by right-clicking here, going to Keyframe Assistant and Easy Ease Out, it's going to start slowly and then get constant as it goes to the top. Let's have a look and see if that's happened. There we go. There's a slightly gentler start to the animation. Let's now see if we can sort out this rather sharp slope here. I'm going to click on the middle keyframe, go to Keyframe Assistant, and in this case Easy Ease, so it smooths the in point and the out point. Let's try that now. Good, starting to take a little bit more life. And I'm going to do the same to the final keyframe. A little right click here and I'm going to go Easy Ease In. So we've got now a gentle start up, a gentle slope out and a gentle fall to the bottom. There we go. Now the one thing we've now got that we can see on the graph editor is we've now got the handles, and we can adjust them even further. If we want the slope out at the beginning to be even more gentle, we can click on this handle, pull it to the right, and the start is getting more and more gentle. The only downside to this is going to be that it's going to be very gentle but then get quite fast up here, because it's a gentle start, then it's going to increasingly get quicker as it reaches this point. Let's play it back and have a look. I mean, it's quite a dramatic effect, but probably not the sort of effect that we're really looking for. It gets very fast, you know, when it reaches the top or the apex of the climb. So I'm going to actually put that back. And just as a little tip, folks, if these wobble around for you, which mine are here, just hold the shift key and it will constrain the movement to make life a little bit easier for you when you're animating. I think the next thing I'm going to do is click on this keyframe here, and in the graph editor you can actually move it along to the right. So I actually am going to put it at 1.5 seconds. And what this now means is that we're going to have a more constant movement across the animation. 1.5 and then back down again, like so. Let's play that back and have a look. Up we go, and then back again. And that's a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. That's a little easier on the eye. So, just to recap, you can click on the keyframes here and make them easy ease. Once you've done that, you can grab the handles to dramatically alter the speed with which the animation approaches a keyframe. If you want also, you can actually grab the keyframes and move them along the timeline in the graph editor so that they take longer to animate. So in this case, the gap has now gone from 1.5 seconds to 4 seconds. If you want to put all the keyframes back to linear, that's fairly straightforward as well. You tap on rotation one more time, all the keyframes have been selected. You can put your selection tool on one of the keyframes, press Alt, click, and they all become linear again. Okay folks, hope you found that useful. See you in the next tutorial.